and welcome to Richard Bozulich's Get Strong at Attacking. It's just going to be a little bit of an introduction as to what we're going to be going over in here. So this counts as the introduction of this problem select page. So in this book there are 136 problems all dealing with attacking. Now the main point of the book, and they reiterate this a few times throughout the book, the point of attacking is not to kill your opponent in most cases. In most cases you really just want to threaten your opponent and make them run and squirm, and while they're running and squirming you can build influence, you can take territory depending on what the board position is, but again, the point of attacking is not to kill your opponent's stones in most cases. As I mentioned, there are 136 problems. 40% of those problems are 54. I liked the 6 problem per video format of the Get Strong at Kiseido series, so I'm going to be continuing that for this series, which means when you divide by 6 there are 9 videos, which is kind of a weird number since for the book series I have 4 days available per week. And so rather than have it jarred like that and have one day have 1 and the other weeks have all 4, I'm going to split it up between 3 weeks and have 3 videos per week. So that'd be Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. The problems themselves are very similar to Get Strong at Invading, where there aren't really definitive answers, there are just general ideas. So there will be a lot of variations and continuations and failure type explanations from the book, whereas Get Strong at Kiseido really only had question, answer, and whatever they couldn't cover in the solution text, it wasn't covered. Whereas this one, they have page after page of variations and continuations. Some even have 2 pages per problem. I mean, there are some with a lot of variations. Most of them are within 1 or 2 diagrams, they're done, so there isn't a whole lot, but they are more in-depth than the Get Strong at Kiseido. Like the Get Strong at Invading, I am going to be using a similar format to that, where I group the problems together of similar topics. For instance, I'm planning to do one that has the 2-space base and attacking the 2-space base. Similarly, there are a couple that are going to be dealing with Joseki mistakes, and after Joseki, how do you follow up, how do you attack this formation after Joseki's over, or if your opponent forgets to extend here or decides to tanuki here, how can you punish that and that sort of thing. As well as common board positions that come up. Like I for instance play Orthodox a lot, and there are a few problems that deal specifically with an enclosure and a 4/4 point on the opposite side, so Orthodox, and when your opponent invades. There's also quite a few that deal with invasions. For instance, if you have like this giant moyo going up and your opponent invades, how do you attack that? You know, do you come in really close, or do you try to lightly net it and just keep it on the run and build up your influence with it? Problems in general can be very difficult because there aren't any uniform principles really to apply to the problems. In some cases you want to cap, in some cases capping would be a mistake because you're not strong enough, and in some cases you want to gouge at the base, sometimes you don't want to gouge at the base. I mean, there's a lot of back and forth. It really depends on the status of the whole board, what you're looking to get out of it, what your opponent can do in response. One stone in an odd spot can make the difference between whether or not you want to cap or lightly guide with a knight's move and attack that way. Or in some cases you don't even really want to attack it, you just want to surround it. Because if you can surround it, that means you get the outside influence, and with the outside influence you can use it with the rest of your board to make a giant moyo and take a lot of territory. So again, the point of attacking is not to kill the group, but to gain profit from attacking it. So now I'm going to go over a little bit of the format this is going to take place. The format that we're going to do, there's going to be a splash page, a splash screen that has all of the links to the other videos on it, and it's just that's the whole point of the video. It's just that it's going to be a link to all the other ones. And so in the middle on the top you'll see a link to the introduction, that is this video, and then below it there's the 9 sets. You just click on the box that you want, it goes straight to the video. Likewise, at the end of the video there's going to be next and previous links. So if you're on set number 5, the next will bring you to set 6, the previous will bring you to set 4, as well as a link going back to the splash page in case you want to jump around. On the introduction of the page, there's the set number, as well as a link back to the problem set in case you clicked on this one by mistake, as well as a link to this introduction video here. So the goal of all this stuff is to keep it all nice and interconnected so that you can hop around fairly easily between the videos, and it makes it like a nice cohesive set for Get Strong at Attacking. I really like the concept of this. So the program that we're going to be recording this one compared to the last ones, which are Tsuji, we're actually going to be doing it in GoPanda. I like GoPanda for the way it looks. It's nice, crisp, clean. I also like the sounds of the stones that it makes. But the review program is not as good as Kiseido. They've recently updated it and added this nice blank board review thing, and you can do a whole lot more than you could before, but there is still some improvements that could be made. For instance, there's no variation tree here. GoPanda does have a variation tree that stores, but you can't really access it. You can go back and forth with this bar, but you can't really go to the branches very easily. I know there's a way to do it, just haven't really spent the time to learn how to do that very effectively. And in addition, you can't effectively set up a board in advance and have an SGF and do a problem set like this. Whereas Kiseido, I could leave the board up even though the whole tree is done and ask you what the problem is. Whereas in this one, for instance, I'll just put a couple stones down. If you go back and you say, okay, what's Black's next move? GoPanda has this little feature here that says, oh, here's the next move, and here's the next move, and here's the next move. And so if I prepared the SGFs in advance, it would kind of ruin the problem set because it would tell you what the first move is. So I need to make the trees as I go. One plus GoPanda has over KGS is that I can scroll to do the moves here. I'm scrolling here. I think you can do the arrow keys as well. Whereas KGS, you have to click the button or the arrow keys. GoPanda has this nice scroll feature so I can quickly go from variation to variation, which I'm looking forward to. I also want to give a big shout out to all of you who left some feedback. That first iteration, if there was no feedback and that was what I was going with, I would have probably gone with it. I specifically asked for feedback because I was looking for suggestions like, yeah, the music is a little bit too loud and the board is in the wrong spot and that sort of thing. So I'm very thankful that you guys gave feedback, and I'm also thankful that in the second iteration, you guys were okay with that iteration. I mean, I would have kept going a couple more times if there was maybe some minor tweaks, and I might actually make a couple minor tweaks. A couple things that I noticed that I'm just gonna fix because they bug me. Things like text out of position and stuff like that. But again, thank you so much for the feedback. That is the exact kind of feedback that I'm looking for when I ask for feedback. Constructive, saying, you know, maybe you should probably do this, maybe you should probably do that. Just saying thumbs down or I don't like this doesn't help at all. So again, thank you so much for that. Now for some of the changes that are coming compared to Tsuji, and you might be a little jarred in the first video or two until you get used to this, but I'm not going to be doing an introduction on every video, and I'm not going to be doing an outro on every video. So I'm not going to say, welcome to Richard Bozulich, just get strong and attacking, and at the end I'm not going to ask for subscription, likes, and that sort of thing. And so this video is going to be kind of counting for all of that outro stuff. So please, if you like the videos, please like the videos, not just this one, but also the individual problems. If you like them, if you got value out of them, please like them. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the description of the video. If they're specific to the video, if they're just in general about the series, then probably just leave them below here. And share the videos. I think the easiest one to share would just be that one with the splash page, because that has links to all of the other videos instead of sending instead of sending 10 links about the series to someone else, just link the splash page. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the series.